Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you. It's me, Mitch. Happy Friday the 13th, my friends. Good to see everybody here this morning. Just keep an eye out for Freddy Krueger today. I'm not a suspicious guy, but I think a little extra caution out on the roads today, might not be a bad idea. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And as usual, my friends, drink it if you got it. And I got it right here. Well, good to see everybody this morning. If I look a little bit, the setup looks a little different today. I have rearranged where I put these things on my monitor. It's going to take me a little while to get used to it, but I moved the camera over. You're going to see me looking in this direction a little more. I'm going to try to look more directly at the camera, but I got screens all over the place with my pictures in it and don't know which one to look at sometime. I try to find the one where I look the prettiest. Always a difficult task. So yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Look at the crowd we got here. Holy cow. 69 people so far. Wow, wow, wow. And I hope you can all hear me good. I keep fiddling with the different levels. If there's anything, if you think I'm not loud enough or too low, or the music is too loud or too low, just give me a shot. Give me a little shout in the chat. And the chat is really, really gone. I saw Ellen's in the chat, but she's not going to be here with us today. It's just too much of a hassle, I think, when she's dog sitting, especially at the house across the street from her. I don't think their Wi-Fi is real good. But we'll miss her, and hopefully tomorrow morning she'll be here. Couple things in this lunacy that we call a world that we live in. It's nuts. First of all, don't forget. Q. Capital Q's. I'm going to see if I can't not miss any. I tried hard yesterday. I think maybe I missed one, maybe not. But ask questions. That's why we're here. We're here to help support each other, to help us through challenges that we're having, answer questions that maybe we've heard so many conflicting opinions on. We don't know which way to go. And so don't hesitate to ask them. If I don't get to them, I apologize. Just ask it again next time. Do the best I can. A lot of stuff going by on the screen. A lot of people in here, 83 now. I can't even imagine how, in like a Ken Berry live stream with 3,000 or 4,000 people, how anybody can even read the chat. It goes by so fast. I know he's got some staff that do that, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Anyway, got a couple things here on my list of things to talk about. I told you to watch out for Freddy Krueger. Yes, I did. And I got a typical. I got an email this morning, a marketing email from Sam's Club. And with the things that they think I should be buying, that they think I would find most desirable. I mean, they did send a mass emailing to, I guess, all of their customers with these suggestions of the things that they thought they needed to maybe lower the price on or make them even more desirable for me to go out and buy. And let me show you what Sam's Club thinks that I need to buy this morning. I need to buy Smart Water, green beans, pecans, M&Ms, Club crackers, Ritz crackers. They think that I need to have all of the pies and donuts and cookies and everything else. And that's it. That's about it. And then they reminded me of the stuff I usually buy. Steak, salmon, bacon, chicken. I guess that's chicken. I don't know. I don't think I ever bought that. Extra lean premium ham. I don't buy that. Members Mark Italian herb grilled chicken. I don't buy that. So they did show me the steelhead trout and the New York strips, and that's about it. That's about it. What else do they want to sell me? They want to sell me Christmas decorations. They want to sell me Coca-Cola. They want to sell me bananas. And that was it. That was it. That was the whole email. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. Anyway, of course, the news was peppered this morning with drone hysteria. The mystery drones over New Jersey. And Cliff Medina even sent me an email this morning, a Gmail, saying this is, getting out of hand, and a link to a video from a channel called Redacted. Big channel, 2.5 million viewers. What the hell's the guy's name? I forgot. I wrote it down here. Clayton Morris used to be a Fox News guy, and he's talking about the headline of it was something that they can't identify the frequency that these drones are flying on. I don't know. I'll stick to my prediction that it is mostly government testing, but I think we're being punked as well. I think we're being punked by a lot of people who are just jumping in and saying, I'm going to add to the fun. I'm going to fly my drone around over somebody's house and get them to call the news and create a big panic. I think it's a non-issue that is just generating a life of its own, and I wouldn't be surprised very shortly if we have curfews so that we don't go out at night, that they're going to mandate that instead of masks, we wear helmets in case these drones start falling out of the sky. And it's going to turn into a panic and a furor, exactly like anything else does when it supplies views for YouTube videos, demographics for newscasters. It is a media-hyped bunch of crap, in my opinion, that we should just stop paying attention to. None of the things that they're telling us can make any sense. And this Jeff Van Drew, this Democrat turned Republican Jersey senator, keeps saying it's an Iranian mothership. Nonsense. And if these things were indeed, oh God, the sirens all over the place out here. I don't know what that is. Hope somebody in my community isn't having a heart attack. We have, I know because this is what I did in the military 40 years ago. There's not a radio signal that's broadcast anywhere on any frequency that can escape detection, period. If they can't detect a frequency for a particular drone, then that drone is flying a pre-programmed mission, which anybody that has a little, tiny little mini DJI Mini 4 Pro or something like that can program that drone to go between waypoints and fly a whole mission and return back to where it started with no radio control at all. So I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Cliff, I appreciate you telling me about this stuff, but I honestly, I watched 30 seconds of that video and I just said, I don't have time. I don't have time for all this propaganda, all this noise, all this sensationalism, and just, they know what it is. Believe me, they know what it is. They just don't want to admit it. And the big headline was, the Pentagon will not admit that it's them. Well, duh, the Pentagon is not going to admit that they're testing future weapons systems and tell everybody exactly what it is. I mean, come on, come on. We need to get real about this. It's nuts. It's nuts. Nuts. On a brighter note, we had a private community stream last night. It was great. It was great. God, the sun. Whoa. I need to get a sun visor like my car. Right up here. See how I got the shadow on my face there? Just at this time. And as we get closer to December 21st, the sun keeps moving a little bit to the south each day. And after December 21st, the shortest day of the year, it'll start moving back north again. And I'll be happy to see that. At any rate, that's about all I got. I don't have a lot to talk about today, and I took up 12 minutes talking about it. But those are things that I find fascinating, and I'm getting a little tired of this drones over New Jersey stuff. We are being punked. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but meanwhile, you're chatting like crazy. The chat is getting ahead of me. Let me go back up to the beginning, quickly run through it, say hi to people until I actually come upon a question. First one in at 9:20 p.m. last night. Tuka was in with us on the live stream, and he sang. Tuka has quite a voice, big, booming, operatic type voice, and he was at a music hall in Finland last night, live, on our live stream in the panel, and he honored us with a tune, and I had a funny thought. I said to myself, imagine somebody just clicking onto this private community stream last night, and Tuka is in the middle of an operatic song, and they'll go, what the hell? What did I just tune into? Peter said good morning, but he said it at 9 p.m. last night. Mike Seeley was in early. Stick Man's Garage, how you doing? 11:17 p.m. William McCartney. All these people like to chime in. And here come the Insomniacs. Lady June at 1 o'clock in the morning. The Feral Grandma at 2 o'clock in the morning. Slantyhead, good morning, 2:25 a.m. Lucy Auerbach chimed in about 4. And then somebody who actually got some sleep, the Feral Grandma at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Cliff Medina shortly thereafter. Marla Kelly, how you doing this morning? Donita Tess, good to see you. Jeff Streslak, how you doing? Wayne Herman's here, good morning to you. Lizzie, Mike Seeley Sr.'s here. And Mark Booz chimed in about 7:37, and Lynn Gerber. Greg Smith, good morning, Greg. Greg's out on the road. How you doing? Rick from Miami chimed in. 7:45. Good morning, Rick. How you doing? Smoothie's here. How you doing, Smoothie? Morning vegan meat eaters. Yes, we eat vegans. We do that. Tom from Tampa's here. Viking 442. No Slow. How you doing, No Slow? Good to see you. And Katya is here. Good morning, Katya. Excuse me, not Katya. Ketra. The sun is right in my eyes. I got to tell you, it's a strain to read these computer screens. But I love it. Ketra Ketra Naylor, how you doing? Good morning, all. Good to see you. Couch Potatoes here. Cloud 7, somebody I don't recognize. Good afternoon from the United Kingdom. Good to see you. Richard Williams. Williams, good morning to you. Jeff Johnson is here. How you doing? Getting his coffee ready. Feral Grandma's getting her coffee ready. Gina Cav chimed in, says, good morning, everyone. Even I chimed in, said good morning. Coffee aficionados. Steve Studley's here. How you doing? Boy, big crowd. There's 135 people already. Holy cow. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you. Great to see you. Sandy Blythe is here. Peter's out getting an oil change, but he's here. Tormir woke up. Hey, Tormir, how you doing? Dixie Scott, good to see you. I'm still looking for some questions here. Helen Hot Stuff is here. I still love that handle. I love that name. And Tanya Kitchen Witch is here. Welcome. Welcome, Cloud 7, she says. Patty Molden, good morning to you. Pamela Suarez is here. Look at all these people. Captain America. Steve Rogers here from Kansas City, heading down to Sam's to raid their markdown meat. Good luck. Hope you score some. I hope you score some. It's always an adventure. Always an adventure. And the provider of the coffee cup warmer, Francine Bourgeois, is here. Thank you, Mitch, for your dedication to the community. I'm glad to have you in my life. Francine, I am glad to have you in my life, too. And having this hot coffee is one of the reasons. Thank you. And we have Claudia Burkick. How you doing? Claudia, good morning from Canada. Good to see you. Aaron is here. Booby Goats, good morning. And Ellen chimed in there. Edward Renner, look at this. Look at this. Holy cow. Okay, I'm looking for some questions. I don't see any yet. Mark Booz is here. How you doing, Mark? Good morning. Mark was in with us for a little while last night. Danny up in Boston's here. How you doing? And this is Elsa. Good afternoon from Denmark. Well, you're up there somewhere near Tukka in Finland. Good to see you. Glad to see the Europeans are chiming in. And anybody else I missed. And then I can run through this real fast and try to find a question for you. Otherwise, you're just going to have to listen to me talk about miscellaneous stuff. David Kane's here. How you doing? B. Matt, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Yeah. Stay out of trouble today, guys. Friday the 13th. Not that I'm not suspicious, but I try to stay out of everybody's way today because God knows what these people are going to do. Dan Galasso, how you doing? Good morning. And here is a question. Yes, a question from Elsa. Question, what to do when feeling a little sick of the same food? I think it all tastes of the same thing. Eggs, bacon, meat, fasting. I think that might be, that's a good question. That's a good question. It's something that I can't tell you from personal experience because I never got tired. Me personally, I never did get tired of the same food because I was on keto for a long time before I switched to pure carnivore. But I can imagine that a shift from a standard American diet or high carb diet right to carnivore might be a little harder to adapt to. And I think the key, and this is again just my opinion because it's a question that's nebulous at best. I mean, how do you put a finger on physiologically exactly why you get bored with certain things? It's a very, very tough one, and I think it would vary among individuals. But I think if there's any common connection between all of us. It seems to me that very few, if any, of the people that have really adapted to being a fat burner and have completely given up the carbs, so that their carb addiction has basically gone to sleep, find, like I find, that it's exactly the opposite. That those smaller and smaller range of foods that you eat become more and more delicious, and you look forward to them, like I do every day, just to bacon and eggs. You'd think having bacon and eggs almost every day that I'd be bored and tired with it. And exactly the opposite has happened to me. And I think that's my body finally learning that this is the food that gives me what I need, make me want it more. And this has to be, and I always compare things to how it works in the animal kingdom. How it works in the animal kingdom. Without getting into the religious connotations, there are a lot of people who don't think we're animals. They think that we're above the animals. We're better than the animals. Physiologically, we're animals. We have the same stuff inside of us. We have the same reflexes, the same urges, same physiology, same organs, pretty much almost the same physical layout of things on our body. But an animal doesn't seek out variety at all. An animal instinctively knows what foods are best for it and snubs its nose at foods, usually, unless they're animals that interact with humans, because we actually screw them up. We turn them into carb addicts. We feed them stuff that's not good for them. We hold back the stuff that they really want. Your dog will go nuts when you give them the table scraps from a prime rib. That's their food. Some dogs have never eaten a bite of that in their life because their owners are fearful that it's going to give their dog a heart attack. I don't see animals in the wild having heart disease or diabetes. They eat the foods they know. And I think the longer a human does this, and the more fat adapted they get, and the more they are able to live without a cheat, without a carbohydrate, and long enough to let the addictions go away, I think that will stop for you. I think that, Alyssa, I think that you will stop getting bored, and that's the best that I can do with that question. Thank you. It's a good question, though, and these things kind of trigger you to think and try to figure out what it is. And what it is Lori's got a question. Mitch, have you ever had someone ask you about, let me see if I can read this better here, about your diet lifestyle only to stop you when you get to the part about evolution because of their beliefs? Oh, I get stopped. I get stopped in comments. I get stopped in all this other stuff. It's what we got in this world, Lori. I think the last statistic I saw is that 40% of Americans believe in creation. Well, okay, I don't want to change their minds. Whatever makes them comfortable, whatever they can justify in their own mind. I can't and will not debate religion with anybody, nor will I ever try to take anybody's religion away from them. I don't tell people they're stupid for believing that. I don't tell them anything like that. I tell them I don't believe that. We each have to come up with a story that makes sense to us. For whatever reason. And I even envy deeply religious people because they gain so much. They do gain so much from their religion. Excuse me a second. Chilly morning, but it's getting warmer. So I am not an anti-religious. I don't even think I'm a full-blown atheist. I don't discount any kind of, call it a force or something going on in our universe that we might not understand. I still marvel at the complexity of life and say, you know, I understand how evolution works, but sometimes I think, wow, it's just way too complicated to have to happen that way, but I can't think of a better way yet. And I know that most of the way we are, most of the way we react comes from the living things that we come from. It's passed up to us, and I do believe that. But when somebody tells me they know that red meat causes a heart attack, end of discussion for me, Lori. When somebody tells me, I don't believe in evolution, you're godless heretic, Mitch, you're going to burn, I say, end of discussion. End of discussion. Why aggravate yourself getting in a debate that's unwinnable? They're never going to change your mind. If you believe in evolution and believe in the science that has proved it, in my mind, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're never going to convince them that it's real. They're never going to convince you that you're wrong. Why aggravate yourself? Agree to disagree. And move on. And move on. Same's true for politics. Same's true for anything. If you drive a Ford, and think Chevys are garbage, or you drive a Chevy and think Fords are garbage, you have an ideology that nobody will ever change. So don't argue whose car is better. I mean, we find reasons to divide ourselves, and sticking to those reasons and constantly fighting about them is the reason the world is in the shape it's in, and everybody's fighting with everybody else, claiming they're the victims. So that's a good question. I've stated my case. I don't think cigars are bad for me. What a segue. What a segue. Guys, I'm getting really good at this. I'm getting real good at this. Excuse me. Excuse me while I light my cigar. Ah, yes. Perfect timing. Thank you for your patience. And while I'm at it, I guess it's time for my shameless plug of the morning. If you like what I'm doing, if you're gaining something from all my efforts and my hard work here, you can thank me if you'd like, and I'm going to put a link in the chat, and you can buy me a coffee. That's how I support myself doing this work. It's not from the ad revenue on YouTube. It's from two things. From people shopping through my Amazon links for the stuff that I use in my cooking videos, all the gadgets, and also people who just want to help me out without costing them a dime, and they need to buy something from Amazon, can go to my website at OldGuyCarnivore.com and go to the page that says links to stuff I use. Click on any of them. Once you're in Amazon, go search for what you want to buy. They'll actually pay me a little commission because you came in through my link. I think that's very nice of Jeff Bezos. I never asked for that, but that's the way they work. So you can do those things. And in return, I'll tell you what I always tell you, is that I respect your time and I don't take sponsors. And some of these sponsorship deals are very lucrative. I won't do it. I don't advertise these products, especially the supplements and all those other things. And I don't run mid-roll ads. I don't interrupt my live streams and things with ads every 7 or 8 minutes. And I don't know if you know this or not, but if I did that, I would quintuple the ad revenue I got from YouTube, because most people skip the ads, which means they don't spend a whole lot of time watching ads on my channel, so I don't get paid anything. But if I ran those mid-roll ads that weren't skippable and you were stuck sitting there for 2.5 minutes watching some pitch for something that you have no use for, or a weight loss drug, yeah, I'd make a lot more money. And that's why most people do run those mid-roll ads and do have sponsors, because they need to make a living at this. I don't need to make a living at this, but I like to be thanked and I like to be appreciated. So that's it. Shameless plug for the morning. Thanks for putting up with that. That's all the commercial. That's all the commercial that you're going to get from me this morning. Okay, let me go back to the chat here and look for some more questions. I don't think I have anything else in my notes, so let me go on and start answering some more questions. Papa Carnivore's back. I don't know if he got his oil changed. Oh, wow. Scotter. Morning all. Somebody new. Good to see you. And Maciel Ordonez is here. Good morning to you. Jesse Farmer says, good morning, sir. CB is in here chatting away. And I'm looking for some questions. Had 2 so far. That's great. Ellen's chatting away. Tom Biking says, I have a DJI Mavic Air. That's a good drone. They got the Air 3 now, which is supposed to be super. I don't buy any more drones anymore. I've got a bunch of quads, 20 or 30 of them, racing quads, and I've got a couple of DJI Mavic 2s. I got a Pro and a Zoom, Tom, and they still work great. And I don't see any for the aerial photography. I see no need for any more drones, especially with all the new laws that we have. So I'm going to run through the chat here and just interact with you until I get another question. Tanya says, I can't believe I missed Tuca singing. Yeah, well, you're a member of the private community. No, you're. Does it show you in green? Hold on a second. Yes, you're a member of the. That's right. You're a member of the private community. You watched the replay. It was something. It really was something. And we went for the full 2 hours last night too. I got to tell you. I can't get these guys to go away. I'm getting tired, and they just keep coming in and chatting. And we had 2 new people in there that we never had on the panel before last night. It was great. We actually had Tom. Tom is 10 years older than me. I thanked him profusely for the first time. I wasn't the oldest guy in the room, and he's doing great. He's doing great on carnivore. He's got some issues he's dealing with, but they were left over from before carnivore. He's got some AFib and things, but evidently he's doing great. And then we had another couple in there that were great. It was great to meet some new people. And I encourage anybody in that community, even those of you who get gifted a membership once in a while, to come in and join us there. Speaking of drones, Johnny Drone Flyers here. Hiya, Johnny. How you doing? Good to see you. DS-111 can't sing. I can't sing either. We don't want to do that. It's a horrible and ugly thing if I try to sing. Deborah Miller checked in. How you doing? And so did Lumpy Dog. I don't believe in astrology, but I'm a Capricorn, and we are skeptical. Like that. LOL. I'm not much of a believer in astrology either. So, Kevin Deckard, how you doing? Kevin, good morning from Richmond, Michigan. Good to see you. And a question from AP, who says, hey, Mitch, did you ever put cream in your coffee when you were keto and now carnivore? Nope. I stopped using cream in my coffee way back when I was in the Army in the late 60s. I started to drink it black, and I've been drinking it black ever since. Been drinking it black ever since. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to put some heavy cream in your coffee, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I just get enough fat. Now, if you're not getting enough fat, if you're eating leaner meats and you don't think you're getting enough fat, it's not a bad way to add some fat, putting a little heavy whipping cream or butter in your coffee. A lot of people love that. They love the mouth feel of it. They love the taste of it. It's an individual thing. Rosara's here from California. How you doing? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Ellen says to Tuka, thank you for the concert last night. Yeah, yeah, it was something. It was something. Well, I need another question or two here. Here's Helen Hot Stuff's got a question. Can you talk about what oxalate dumping is? Wow, yeah, that's a very complex issue. And before I kind of summarize it, I'll tell you that you can learn a ton about oxalate poisoning and oxalate dumping from Sally Norton. Sally Norton. Just go in the YouTube search bar, type that name in there. I don't even know if Sally's got a channel, but I know she's been interviewed by virtually everybody. All the big names have interviewed her, the scientists, and I believe she wrote a book, I haven't read it, about oxalates. She was a victim herself of oxalate poisoning, and it was horrible, the things it did to her and her recovery from it, and she discovered a tremendous amount. Oxalates, we can't do anything with them so we find places in our body to put them. The kidneys try to filter them out, but they don't. They really don't get out of the kidneys. They're not metabolizable. They can't be broken down, so they just accumulate. And in the kidneys, they become kidney stones, calcium oxalate stones. The body also hides them away in places where they do the least damage, and those places include joints and other things. And they can cause a lot of grief and a lot of pain. When you stop eating oxalates, your body, I think, views it as an opportunity to try to kind of get rid of some of the oxalates it's been storing away and hiding away in these out-of-the-way places in your body, and you start doing what's called dumping. And some people have so much oxalate crystals in their body that they start dumping way too fast, and it becomes damaging to them. And one of the things that Sally Norton talks about is if you start oxalate dumping, and there's many ways, and she outlines them all. I know the one that I had when I was oxalate dumping that was most obvious and evident to me was rashes. I was dumping these oxalates through little pimples on my skin. My body was just ejecting them right through my skin to get rid of them. And I would get something that started itching, and the next thing I saw, little patches, little areas, not my whole body, but just certain areas of my body at a time. And this went on for, a year and a half, once I stopped eating the oxalate heavy superfoods, which was when I got off of keto. Because when I was on keto, I was eating almonds and spinach, and I was eating those things. They were relatively low in carbs, so I was eating a lot of oxalates. And these little pimples would pop up, and they'd itch and scratch them, and then a little head would develop on them. And in the scratching, because they itched, you'd scratch the head off, and I noticed there was a little thing in there that was like a little bigger than a grain of sand, and it was amber in color, and it was like a glass shard, like a glass shard. It was but it was tiny, and that was an oxalate crystal. And my body successfully ejected it through my skin. And Sally says that if you're starting to pass kidney stones like crazy and you're getting all this stuff and you're feeling bad, she suggests that you actually start eating some oxalates in small quantities to slow down the dumping. This is a field that I don't claim to be an expert in. I always refer people to Sally's videos and her interviews with other people to get some of her research and some of the finer opinions. But that's what oxalate dumping means. When you stop accumulating oxalate, your body naturally wants to get rid of it. We don't want that stuff in us. And ironically, the greatest cause of accumulating oxalates are the foods that the rocket scientists out there tell us and label superfoods, like spinach, almonds, chocolate. I used to believe that raw almonds were the best food for a human being at one point. I believed that. Everybody was saying that. Raw almonds are the healthiest thing a human being could eat. I ate so much. I'm lucky I didn't kill myself. Almonds contain so much cyanide that the amount of almonds that I used to eat at a sitting as a snack in front of the TV, because I'd binge on them, turned out to be enough to kill a human being with cyanide poisoning. I didn't know that. And so you've got not only cyanide in almonds, but you've got oxalates too. These almonds don't want to be eaten, and most of that stuff is released when you bite down into them. That's their defense chemicals. That's a seed. Plants protect their seeds at all costs. That's like humans protect their babies. We've learned so much, and very little of it has gotten out into the public knowledge. At any rate, that's a great question. Great question about oxalates. And let's see what time. I'm up to 8:49 in the chat. I am half an hour behind. So I'm going to start running through this, and I'm going to start running through to look just for QQQs. Aaron's got a question. On your coffee mug, which is your favorite color, red or blue? I don't have a favorite color. I like them both. I seriously, I bought two of them. They didn't give them to me. I bought two of them when I designed them, and I wanted to see what they look like, and I agonized of which one I was going to give Ellen, which one did I like best. I couldn't make up my mind. So I just figured, well, blue is for boys, and red is closer to pink than blue is, so that's for girls, and that's how I made the decision. But no, seriously, I like both of them. And I think the red ones are being bought more than the blue ones, but not by much. So it's a conundrum. I'm sorry I've created the need for a decision. And I'm trying to skim and read some of what you said. Lumpy Dog's here. How you doing, Lumpy Dog? Good to see you. Terry Sue, how you doing? Good to see you today. Let me see. I never even stopped to see if I was actually live on Rumble or check the chat over there. Let me check the chat over there. And yes, I am live. Ellen was there. Good morning, all from... Oh, no, that wasn't Ellen. That was Mike Seeley Sr. from Melbourne. Rod Weeder's over there. Sprack 58 is there, or 56. Good morning. Good morning. There's a question. Mitch, can you please buy me a coffee? Oh, you want me to put the buy me a coffee in the Rumble chat? I could do that if you're still here. I need to look at that. There it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Rod Weeder, and then you'll see an entry from WPFL 32789. That's my Rumble handle, but you'll recognize my icon. It's the same old guy with the cigar face. So thanks for that. And I did hear my phone go off, and I think somebody bought... Yes, some people bought me a coffee. Let me thank them profusely. We have Captain America, Steve, bought me a coffee. Thank you. Drink up, Mitch. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and time with our tribe. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. And Slantyhead bought me a coffee. Thanks for all you do, he says. Very much appreciated, guys. Thanks so much. Or Slantyhead may be a woman. I have no idea. I know that Steve Rogers is a guy because I met him. I met him at our meetup in Tampa. He flew in just for that from Kansas City, Missouri. Of course, he's a retired Delta employee and gets to fly everywhere for free, which helps. What a perk that is. What a perk that is. Anyway, I'm trying to run through this here. Get a little out of breath. Looks like it's going to be a pretty day today. I wish I had time to read some of these longer entries. I usually read them during the replay, but then it's too late to comment on them. But we do the best we can here. Do the best we can, guys. This is just as much about you helping each other and talking to each other as it is me pontificating. Let's see here. I'm going to post that link again in case anybody feels the burning desire and forgot what to click. Boyd Lamb. A question. I don't want to go so fast that I miss the cues. Here we go. Here's a question. Dixie Scott. Question. Have you heard of Cole Robinson's snake diet? My understanding is that it's fasting, one meal a day, high fat, low carb, and his special snake juice. He also says appetite suppressants are okay. No, Dixie, I haven't heard of that diet. And I'm going to try something here, guys. I'm going to try changing my glasses and see if that doesn't help. Bear with me a second. I'm wearing these computer glasses, but I'm not seeing. I actually can see it clear without my glasses, except that, is that any better? It might be a little better. Anyway, I'm straining. This monitor I put up here is a little further away than the computer screen. And I put the main window on that monitor today, and I don't think it's working out as good for me. I'm having a little more trouble reading it. I can read it on it's the fact that the TV is not as sharp as a computer screen. It's a TV screen, so you don't see the letters as sharp. I don't think I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to finish today with this because to redecorate everything wouldn't be worth it. But no, I have never heard of that. It sounds like just a little offshoot of carnivore with some magic snake juice, and I would not give that any credibility, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe it worked for him and he has something there. But I don't know where you found that. I don't even have the curiosity to look into it. My theory is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this works for me. Why would I be looking for somebody else's diet to replace the one that's been working so great for me for 2.5 years? Here's a question from Mike Seeley Sr. Would I consider doing a show on Festivus? I do a show every day, whether it's Festivus, Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever. I guess if your religion is Jerry Seinfeld, Festivus is a thing. I don't know about that. But I would not do a show, Mike. I'm not going to do a show bragging about or promoting Festivus. I think, it's a gag. And the slogan was Festivus for the rest of us, which basically means for those people that don't sign on to all the conventional stuff, but that's funny. That's funny. That's funny, Mike. Well, I'm only 20 minutes behind in the chat now. That's good. Here's a question. Have you ever watched blood lab result videos of vegans on YouTube? No. I don't have to watch them. I know exactly what they are. Their cholesterols or their LDL is low. Their HDL is low. Their triglycerides are usually okay or high. Their vitamin B is in the toilet unless they're taking supplements. Somebody can live on a vegan diet if they become, if they hire an accountant to keep track of all the pills and a pharmacist to dispense them to them every day to try to get all the essential nutrients and amino acids that come in a ribeye. But the answer to that question is no, for a different reason. And that is that I will not waste 1 second of my life or my time watching anything that a vegan has to say, because I'm a hard ass. I know for a fact that that is not a diet suitable for human beings. So there is no argument. There are no so-called studies. There are no facts. There's no research. There's no nothing that tells me that plants aren't trying to kill us, like Anthony Chaffee said, and that is not a diet for humans. We don't have the machinery to process that stuff. A cow does. Now, we used to 8 million years ago in our lineage, but we have evolved from that and adapted as we migrated from areas of vegetation to plains and deserts and savannas and things with animals. And our ancestors had to eat the animals or starve to death. And over millions of years, we adapted. And after 5 million years since the split, and here I am talking evolution again, from us and our most recent common ancestor, which we know for a fact is a chimpanzee, since we split from them, it was 5 million years before the first of genus Homo had actually adapted. 5 million years of traveling around, eating different foods. That's how long it took for our physiology, our digestive system, our teeth, everything else, to morph from the physiology of a chimp to us. But we're still over 99% common in the DNA that we share. It's incredible. It's incredible. But yes, no way would I ever watch a vegan video. If I find out that it's a vegan video because they tried to suck me in, and I'll tell you who's really good at that, is, what's his name? what the hell's his name? He's a doctor. It'll come to me. Ends with Undry. What's his name? I haven't paid attention to him in so long, I forgot his name. At any rate, he comes on and he even wrote a book. And I bought the book from Amazon, and I got through the first chapter. I sent the book back. It's the only time I ever sent a book back to Amazon. It was a vegan book, a vegetarian book disguised as a keto and carnivore book. He wrote a book called The Plant Paradox or something like that. Gundry is his name. Gundry. I can't watch him. He's such a phony and a fraud. Talk about clickbait. And he always ends up talking and promoting a plant-heavy diet before he's done, but he doesn't start out that way. And there's a lot of people who just refuse to even pay him any attention anymore. Me, one of them. So no vegans for me, sorry. Viking 442 says he needs to clarify that he's not the 87-year-old Tom I'm talking about. No, his handle on YouTube is like Ancient Carnivore or something like that. I'm an old guy. He's ancient. I'm telling you. Nice guy, though. Nice guy. He was an IT guy, too, believe it or not. Probably back in the days when I was learning computers in the Army, he was probably already well entrenched in it. Observer's here. How you doing, Observer? Good to see you. Good to see you. And any more questions? Yes, we have. Tanya's got a question. Mitch, what is your sign? Oh, is that why we had the astrology talk? I'm a Taurus. I don't know if I'm true to a Taurus. I've never studied astrology or gave it much thought. I never read my horoscope in the paper. I don't really care. But the only thing I like about Taurus is it's the sign of the bull, and I can be a little bullheaded now and then if that means anything. But yeah, I'm a Taurus. May the 7th. I was born May the 7th. And we're almost to the end of this thing, and I've got so much. I'm at 9:06, and there's so much chat for me to run through. So I'm going to start running through it fast now. I'm just going to try to find cues and nothing else. And let me see if I can see. In fact, I'm going to go in the other chat, which is already at the bottom, and I'm going to start going backwards and look for any questions. Gundry. Yeah, Ellen told me Gundry. Yeah, that's his name, Gundry. It hit me finally. I knew it ended with Undry, but I just couldn't make it come into my mind, but it finally did. Questions. No. Don't see any. Let's see if I still have some coffee left. I do, and it's still hot. Perfect temperature. Still small amount of steam coming off of it. And we've got 145 people hanging in there. And let's see, any more questions? I'm back up to about 9:15 in this chat. I don't see any. I think I may have got them all. And the gardeners are out. Good timing, guys. Okay. Somebody is out in front of my house with a blower or something. Yes. I don't know if you can hear it, but their timing is perfect. Perfect. I mean, why are they blowing it today? They mowed the lawn 2 days ago, for God's sakes. Because they knew I was sitting out here doing a morning show. That's why. Noise always finds me. I think that's it. I think I got all the questions, guys. And I hope it was interesting. I hope it was interesting for all of you. We still got 145 people here. Good to see you. Ellen found a question from last night, brought it up again. Did you ever have long hair? That's an interesting question. No. You mean like long hair, like the hippies used to have? No. No, I always got myself a regular haircut. Of course, I went into the Army when I was young, and long hair was not an option. But I had the typical, and I was so happy when I lost my hair. My hair was a pain in the ass. My hair was so unmanageable. I had a bad hair day every day. My hair was wavy. And when it grew out, when I had hair up here on my head, when it grew out, it had this horrible looking wavy thing to it. And I kept greasing it down, you know, back in the days when we used Brill Cream, trying to manage it, and it never looked good, and I hated it. And I had a part over here, and I used to just part it there. And I got regular haircuts, not military-looking haircuts, but just, you know, longer than I wear it now. And when I finally started losing my hair, it made it much easier to live. I was much less to take care of. I didn't have to grease my head up all the time to get it to stay where I wanted it to. And I became bald, and I actually enjoyed it. And the last thing in the world I ever even thought about was trying to figure out how to get my hair to grow back. I said, good riddance. Good riddance. This is great. And then as I got older, I used to keep it much thicker in the back. Back in the days when you used to have longer hair, I used to have to blow dry it under in the back, because if you know Dennis Franz, you know, from TV, if you remember the old Law and Orders and some of the shows he was on, he always had that long hair in the back that didn't go down his back, was always blow dried under. That's the kind of way I used to wear it, and I have a picture of that somewhere. One of these days I'll dig it out and show it to you. But no, never wore it long, and happy that it's gone. I know that's unusual for a bald man to say, but now I don't even get haircuts anymore. Save myself a lot of money. I take a trimmer with a short fence on it, and I just shave my entire head, and then get a little shorter fence and shave up my sideburns a little bit, and I do my beard with it, and then I take an electric razor and shave the rest of my face, and it takes me 10 minutes, and I am groomed, and I saved myself $20. And I always thought that if a barbershop would give me a discount because they can get done with me in 2 minutes, I would go to barbershops. But I walk into a barbershop and they want to charge me $25 for 2 minutes of their time. I say, nah, I'll just do it myself. So that's what I do. Here's another question, DS111. I'll just read it from over here. He says, what is your favorite color for cigars then? Well, my cigars aren't really graded by color. They're named by the wrapper they have. The dark brown wrapper is called a Maduro wrapper, but there are Sumatra and some other wrappers that are also dark brown. But I like a darker cigar. They're richer. They have I think a much better flavor. So that's my answer to that. Mama Bear says, have you tried different brands of ghee and found they taste differently? No, I've only tried one brand of ghee, and that's the stuff that I have on my Amazon page, and it is the grass-fed ghee from somewhere overseas, and I don't use a whole lot of it. I don't cook with it. I don't do anything with it. I melt it when I have seafood, and I want that drawn butter taste. I use the ghee, but I don't use a lot of ghee. I use bacon grease, butter, and tallow as my fats of choice, and very, very little ghee. But it has a distinct flavor to it, like drawn butter does, which really complements lobster very well. And of course, or crab's legs. You get me going. I'm a fanatic. I am a top-level expert snow crab leg eater. I can dispatch those things so fast, get all the meat out of them, make your head spin. And I love that with hot drawn butter. And I don't eat it very often because finding really good crab's legs at something that isn't fabulously expensive is getting harder and harder. Getting harder and harder. And you're talking about ghee in the chat, and I'm getting down to 9:23, about 10 minutes ago. And I'm looking for the last of the questions before I say goodbye to you guys. But you're hanging in there with me, 145 of you. And I have gotten to the bottom of the chat. William McCartney and Ellen and Lori and Don Schonger and Scotter are there. So listen, my friends. Say goodbye to each other. I will give you a little music as an accompaniment, sorry. And I'll light up my cigar one more time before I say goodbye for this morning. There we go. There we go. All right, everybody's saying hi-bye. James Ballou came in and said hi-bye. Perfect timing, James. Observer has to buy more meat. Pamela Suarez, have a great day. All Don Schonger, have a great day. Paul McGrogan, have a great day, everyone. My sentiments exactly, my friends. So, with all that being said, I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 Saturday morning. We'll do this again. Think up your questions, get them ready. And until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.